Good morning. We're going to continue through the book of Galatians. We're still in chapter 1. We're going to start in verse 11. It says, "For I would have you know, brothers, that the gospel that was preached by me is not man's gospel. For I did not receive it from any man, nor was I taught it, but I received it through revelation of Jesus Christ." See, we talked about this earlier during his introduction of this book, but we kind of mix Paul up with the other disciples, thinking that he is a disciple. See, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, those guys, they spent a lot of time with Jesus Christ while he was on the earth. So they learned from him firsthand, and they continued his teachings after his ascension. But Paul was in a completely different area. He never met Christ. He didn't hang out with the disciples. If you read the rest of the chapter, it says he never came into contact with them. The only person he ever spoke with was James, Christ's brother. But he says that his revelation of the gospel, how Paul came to know about Jesus, wasn't from one of the disciples or from another man. It was actually from Jesus, which in Scripture it tells us that Christ did speak to him and revealed to Paul who he was, talking about Jesus. Paul goes on to say throughout the rest of that chapter that he had nothing to do with the church of God initially. He was a Jew who was gaining more traction and power, and essentially saying that he had it made. As far as a Jew goes, he was doing what it took, and he was making it until Jesus spoke to him, and he realized that he was on a path that was it was an empty path because the truth, Jesus Christ, wasn't in that path. So immediately after learning that gospel, he continued to teach it. He shared it to others, and his life did a 180-degree change, as our life does when we learn the truth of Jesus Christ and his salvation. So I encourage you, as we continue to read this book, and as you continue to read, to remember how powerful it is that Paul, who was a man who was making it independently as a Jew, completely changed his life and goes on to write a ton of the New Testament. That change would never have happened if that gospel wasn't revealed to him. Just like you and I need to be revealing the gospel to other folks, our friends, our family, and how powerful their life might change once they get a taste of what Jesus Christ can do. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.